And we're ready. Ready for what?
This is on.
Oh.
On behalf of the Rainbow Lakes Estates Advisory Board, welcome to the March 21st, 2024 Advisory Board Meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. If you need to take a call, please step outside. Talking or outbursts from the audience during the meeting will not be permitted. Please take seats if they are available. Board members and guests, if you wish to specifically call upon and speak with an individual in the audience during the meeting, please address the chair first. You do not need to address the chair to speak to other board members or anyone from the public who is addressing the board during the agenda or general public comment portions of the meeting. This board has not allowed in the past, nor will it allow in the future, personal attacks or insults against Rainbow Lakes Estate staff, advisory board members, or community volunteers. Please keep your comments appropriate. Okay, we're going to start with the invocation. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us for our pride, the pride that puffs us up, and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all those present, all the residents, volunteers, and employees of Rainbow Lakes Estates, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. Amen. If we'd all stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Kathy Bryant. Here. Holly Gottlieb. Here. Gary Levitt.
Here.
Alan McKay.
Here.
Dallas Sutherland.
Here.
Rico Spaguzza.
Here.
Dan Wilcherson.
Here.
Okay, we move on to agenda items, public comment. 1A, Garden Club presentation by Michael Hassenfeld. Please state your name, state and spell your name for the record. You are required to give your full address.
Greetings. Levy County, Marion County, representatives, MSD Director, Recreational Director, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. My name is Michael Lee Hassenfeld, spelled M-I-C-H-A-D-L-L-E-E-H-A-S-S-E-N-F-E-L-T. I live at 21046 Southwest Beach Blossom. It's that same house where the rainbow is dreaming bark all over the yard.
Yes.
Michael,
Yes, sir.
you need to address the board.
Yeah. Apologies.
Sorry about that.
What brings me here tonight, of course, is the proposal for the garden. Unfortunately, there's a few things I noticed in that they just made it difficult for me to do this proposal. And the biggest issue is the lack of participation. This board, 3 months ago, 90 days ago, the biggest problem
Michael.
they announced,
Michael.
talking to the audience,
No.
I trust, I got you. The biggest problem is that nobody shows up. These fine people up here were asking for help. This audience had 2 people in it. Katie and I.
Michael.
Sometimes 3.
You got to address the board. They'll hear you.
All right, too easy. Apologies. You all hear me?
Yes,
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, so I cannot do a proposal because we don't have community support for things. One person cannot come up and just change a community. It takes a community to change a community. You all are so overworked up there. Based off the last 3 months of board meetings I attended and the budget, you're so overworked that we're making mistakes as a community. We have a security issue in our community. We have infighting against our leadership that is chewing up our time. This needs to end, and the way to fix it, you, community, I'm doing my best. All right? I'm just one person. I've seen the world. I've been to over 20 different nations. I speak 5 different languages. I've built communities and I've torn them down. I know the process. It wasn't pretty, it was ugly. It was the military. That's what we do. This place is special. This MSD is so unique. The people run this MSD. They run it because they control the tax revenue. Nowhere else in all the world have I ever seen a place where the people control the tax revenue. That is literally the American dream given to us. Congratulations. Every one of us right now have achieved the American dream. Why? Because we control our future. We control our community. All we got to do is stand up and do it. Otherwise, the audience is going to continue to be empty. Mistakes are going to continue to be made. Lawyers are going to be brought in to observe and scrutinize us because we're not a team. We're a bunch of individual people overwhelmed. We became individuals because of circumstances outside our community. Circumstances in Washington and on TV and on social media. A bunch of crap that don't have nothing to do with Rainbow Lake Estates. We need to turn ourselves inward and look at rebuilding. It takes teamwork. I've taught at leadership academies in Europe. I've trained tens of thousands. I've stood on the world stage. Damn it, I built it. We have something special here. And pardon my vernacular, and I do not insult anybody. This is a we thing. We are a team. Pardon our vernacular, but this community needs to get its shit together. All right? We're making poor decisions. Not because we're bad people. No. We're making poor decisions because we're overwhelmed. We don't have enough of a voice. We need your voice. Without your voice, we're going to be forced to make decisions all by ourselves. Show up to meetings, folks. That way they don't have to worry about making bad mistakes. All right? We need more minds. We need more voice. Don't make us make decisions for you, and then you can turn around and, well, where's this? Where's this? No, it don't work like that, folks. Nowhere in the world doesn't work like that. You have to commit to community if you want a community. If not, if we can't get people to commit, I do know this board won't exist in the future. There won't be no support for it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect, thank you.
I'm not sure that was a garden club presentation. Anybody want to speak about this garden club? No?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. Please state and spell your name and give your address. 2 minutes, Tiffany.
So, yeah, start my time now.
No, it's not. Right on.
Okay, now you can start my time. I'm Brian Chase. I'm at 22040 Southwest Nautilus. I came to the Garden Club meeting today. It was, it has a history that's probably just fine for when it was created. time it was created is fine. I have an interest, however, not so much in ornamentals and dressing up the community and stuff that was in quality of life and all that. That's nice, but it's just nice. It's not gonna, I can't eat it. So I wanna see, find out about the interest in a community garden and actually I think Gary mentioned there was some land available. So I'd like to see a community garden where, I could be a member of that, and I could come down and swing a shovel if I need to, or, just help grow food right here in Rainbow Lakes Estates. And, available to firstly to the people who contribute, and secondly to residents who can purchase it for a nominal price. That's what I'd like to see happen. I don't see the Garden Club doing that today. But I want to just express my support in that because I think we're all facing famine if we don't. If anyone isn't, paying attention out there, we're about to face famine and 500,000 patients on a flotilla on the way to Florida. Things are about to get really ugly, people. So, I want to encourage everyone to, put aside our differences. Let's grow some food together. And let's be the community that survives all this when other people are dropping like flies. So that's all I had to say. I hope I can, please feel free to catch me. I don't plan to lead anything unless I'm approached. But, I'm not a green thumb. I don't know how to do it. So I need, people that know how to grow, to help me do my own garden. But in the meantime, I'm willing to put my time forward and try to get this, community-supported agriculture going. I hope y'all will join me. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Chase.
Good afternoon.
A little closer.
Just turn it on. You gotta turn it on.
Is that on? Testing.
Slide it forward.
The system's antiquated. We're going to upgrade it.
Oh, can I just know? Thank you so much. Good afternoon. My name is Sherilyn Fuentes. I live at 3736 Southwest Sunnydale Street. I'm interested in the garden club. I'm interested in not only food, but also the fauna, everything that Florida has here to offer. I've been working on my house, and I've always wanted to live at the park. So I believe my house can be a park as far as the grounds around it. I know there's avenues that we can, with the university, the extension program with agriculture, they're very helpful. There's speakers that would come out and help those that don't know about the soils and the different things that are in this land. How one plant will help another. There's a lot that I've learned since I've been here, and I'm able to share. As far as growing food, you can do that right along with your pretty flowers and trees. They can all live happily together, just as we can if we work at it. I don't know what else to say, but I'm interested. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Angel Colon. I live at 4085 Southwest Kingfish Road. And I am the president of the Rainbow Lakes Domino Club.
Oh, wait, is this about the Garden Club?
No.
Oh, you have to wait to speak toward the public portion, sir.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Mason. My wife Lori and I live at 3306 Northwest Ridgewood. We're both very interested in the garden club. We feel that it's pretty important to start for the community, have our own little food bank, grow some things to help out people less fortunate in the community. I think it'd be a really good idea, so we're available to volunteer at any point. We just need a time and place. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? And I did want to clarify something. We currently do not have what's called a garden club. We have what's called the Garden Society, and several years ago, we changed them from a club to a community service organization. And I just wanted to make that clear. I'm unsure why it's still being advertised as a club, but that is an error apparently from the office. So I did want to clarify that.
What's the difference?
What's that?
What is the difference?
At one point, they planted flowers in certain areas and what have you. So when we went with the fees for the clubs, they were excluded from the fees because they put in some effort and energy as far as, planting like some flowers and things up by the main entrance. They no longer do that.
Because there's no water.
Okay, that it? What's that?
She said there's no water there.
Yeah, I'm aware. Okay, moving on. Approval of minutes for February 15th, 2024. Does the board members have any concerns or questions about the minutes as they are attached?
My concerns and issues were already addressed and taken care of, so I will make a motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next is our advisory committee reports. Vice Chairman, Public Safety Representative, Alan McKay.
Mr. Chairman, as of meeting time, fire and rescue statistics were not available. It would appear that the IT person who had previously quit has quit again. Chief Reeves is working on a more reliable solution for the future, and I expect we should have information next meeting. I did receive a response from Florida Department of Transportation. Engineer Michael Sanders, his response to me was, "Thank you, Mr. McKay. The draft submittal was received yesterday, and the preliminary findings is that a traffic signal be considered." I clipped the recommendation portion of the report for your review. The department will also need to conduct an intersection control evaluation per policy and assess other traffic control alternatives in comparison with signalization before we can begin programming, design, and construction. With US 41 being a two-lane roadway, this significantly narrows the number of alternatives to be assessed, with the roundabout being the only other likely alternative for consideration. I don't think a roundabout's going to work on 41.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Woo! We will have the same engineering firm conduct the ice analysis and it should commence as soon as we give notice to proceed next week. And I received this last week, so it is in process. And this is a quote from the report. Based on the results of the traffic signal warrant analysis, a review of crash history, field observations, engineering judgment, other considerations, and conflicts with the Circle K driveways, it is recommended that a traffic signal be considered at the intersection of US 41 and Rainbow Lakes Boulevard in Denellen, Marion County, Florida, with the traffic signal being recommended for consideration. Intersection control evaluation should be undertaken and to examine possible alternatives for improvement to the study intersection. The following maintenance recommendations or improvements are recommended for the intersection. Refresh the northernmost pavement arrow on the northbound left turn lane, so they're going to have to do work on painting the road. And refresh the edge lines and install RPMs. I don't know what an RPM is. on the northwest and southwest corners of the intersection, and it is recommended that the local agency consider the following improvement. Refresh the stop bar pavement marking on Rainbow Lakes Boulevard. And that's something that we've been trying to get done for quite a while, and I was told that it couldn't be done, and now it looks like that it is going to happen. So I hope that we can get this done by the end of the year. That would be wonderful. You know how slow government works sometimes. I know how slow government works sometimes. So it can take a while. But hope you have patience. Please drive carefully, for goodness sake. I have witnessed.
Can you use the mic, please?
Oh, I have witnessed total idiocy on the road. People driving around somebody to get one more place up in line for no purpose. They gain nothing, but the simple fact is that people drive stupid around here. It is just a fact. And you can't legislate intelligence. I just can't get past that. Please drive carefully, because there are a lot of people out there that will not, and they don't care about you. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, George. Levy County Representative Daniel Schuson.
Yeah, I'll make mine quick. We have update on code enforcement for the Levy County side. We are now down to 2 open enforcement cases. So Levy County's new process of using the magistrate for code violations is working. Up until about 2 weeks ago, we still had 4 open cases, and now we're down to 2. Roads maintenance, current road issues have been discussed with our maintenance department. I received word that Pete Hodges has made his way out to the back. It was done, I think, earlier this week. And he has already cited 3, possibly 4 areas that need to be addressed, and he is not yet done going through there. 100th, which was something that I had brought up with public safety, is on his list to be addressed.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have any more issues with the school bus down that unpaved road. As for the last item, which is our general public safety issue, there's no change in that right now. We still have no public safety assistance or presence in the back. So it's kind of up to us residents to kind of keep an eye on, our section of the district. So, and that's it.
Thank you, Dan. Roads Representative Gary Levin.
I haven't done a real lot this year, or this month, but one thing we have, all of us have noticed, that the new construction is tearing up our roads. Persimmon was nasty. I can't believe the concrete company, or, truck, pulled off into the sand. He got stuck and then tore up the road. There are fees charged to the builders, but they don't go to us. If you see anything else like this, please report it, either to Pam or to myself. And we're gonna have to live with it for now, because we got so much new construction. Otherwise, the same old complaints, little potholes here and there, and I try to be on top of it.
Thank you, Gary. Buildings and Grounds Representative Kathy Bryant.
I don't have anything new. I think Katie's going to discuss the only one thing that's happening. Kathy, we can't hear you. Sorry. Now can you? No.
No, you gotta get very close to it.
You got to get close to it.
Okay. That's a good one. All right. I don't have anything new. Katie has one of our buildings, and she'll discuss that later. I would like to remind everybody to the George Police Field at Seacoast Park dedication is on March the 26th at 10 a.m. We hope to see everybody there.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, Code Enforcement Representative is currently a vacant seat. That's about to change in a few minutes. Recreation Representative Paula Golick.
Rainbow Lakes Estates Open Play Programs. Chip and Draft Shuffleboard. Mondays are from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Shuffleboard Court. Tater Tot Tuesdays are from 10 a.m. to noon at the Community Center. Open Mic Night Poetry Reading is the second Tuesday of each month from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Community Center. Joker's Wild Wednesdays are from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. in the Community Center. Family Game Night is the third Wednesday of each month from 4 to 8 p.m. in the Youth Center for members of the Youth Center. Sling and Horseshoes is Thursdays from 10 a.m. to noon at the Horseshoe Pit. Pickleball is Mondays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. at the Seacliff Community Park. For more information, call 352-465-0630 or email rainbow.lakes@marionfl.org. Rainbow Lakes Estates Clubs. Fiber Craft Society meets the second and fourth Saturday of each month from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the Creative Arts Center. Call President Jennifer Coca 352-322-9682 for more information. Domino's Club meets every Friday. Am I losing it? No, okay. At 7 p.m. at the Community Center. Call President Angel Colon 352-229-0753 for more information. Pins and Needles Stitchers Club meets Mondays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Creative Arts Center. Email President Marcy McKay, mmckay15@gmail.com for more information. Corporate Club meets every Monday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Creative Arts Center. Call Larry Hoffman 352-208-8766 for more information. Garden Club meets the third Thursday of each month at 1:30 in the Community Center. Call Sharon Deltocon 352-489-7586 for more information. Women's Community Club meets the third Wednesday of each month at 10 a.m. in the parking lot next to the Community Center, and then goes to a restaurant for lunch and conversation. Call Nancy Krause 352-489-1490 for more information. Recreation. The Youth Center is open on Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Plant swaps are the third Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. in the Community Center. The Meet and Eat Full Court Dinner is March 29th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or while supplies last at the Community Center. Bring a valid ID with a Rainbow Lakes Estates address on it. If you own property here or are a snowbird, please come to the Rainbow Lakes Estates District Office for a ticket to attend. The Play Soccer program will be from 4/4/24 to 5/9/24 from 11 a.m. to noon at Seacliff Community Park. It costs $45 per child, and be every Thursday for 6 weeks. The Rainbow Lakes Estates Car Show will be April 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That would have been a long one. At the Community Center. A fee of $15 is required to show your car, but it's free for spectators. There will be food trucks, cornhole, horseshoes, a bounce house, and trophies for best paint, best interior, most unique, people's choice, and best in-show cars. Call 352-489-4280 or 352-465-0630 for more information. Movie in the Park will be 4/26/24 at 6:30 p.m. at Seacliff Park. And Ice Cream Social will be 6/28/24 from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Community Center for Rainbow Lakes Estates residents. Summer camp will be 6 weeks, and call 352-465-0630 for more information. And Kathy already talked about the softball field dedication. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, I want to take a moment to welcome our newest board member, Rico Spicuzza, and you've got code enforcement. Aren't you lucky? Okay, moving on. Special committee guests. We have Lieutenant Mike Mongalusa from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Chad Wicker, the Marion County MSTU Director, Katie Burton, the Marion County MSTU Recreation Manager, and Dana Olste, Marion County Chief Assistant County Attorney. Also, we have Robert Howard, our Recreation Leader, and Marcy McKay, our Volunteer Recreation Committee Leader. Okay, Lieutenant Mongalusa.
Good evening, how's everybody doing? Yeah, if I can. It's on. It's working fine, I can hear. Can the board hear me?
I can hear you.
Very good. We've had a couple of good months here in the district, especially Rainbow Lakes Estates. Within the last month since our last meeting, we reported one vehicle burglary, one attempted vehicle burglary. Those are currently under investigation. A couple of domestic and some bank racks, but other than that, crime seems to be avoiding this area, thankfully. We're getting hit bad in the other part of the Denellen district out by Meadowood Farms and Rolling Hills, but it seems to be coming this way. So I just urge everybody to lock their cars, take their valuables out if you're gonna leave it unlocked, because today's burglary, the lady had $6,000 in the car that was unlocked. 2 weeks ago, a guy had $10,000 in his car, and it was unlocked. So, you know, it's hard to combat these burglaries when people are leaving these type of items and guns. A lot of guns being stolen. But if we get the message out for you guys to make sure we're doing what we need to do to make sure everybody locks their cars. And we're trying, me and Tiffany are trying to locate some homeless camps back here. Got some deputies out there looking, but we haven't been able to find them yet. We might have to go on a journey to find them, but once we do, we'll come back and try to get them out there, try to get the property owners and do some trespass authorizations that gives the law enforcement the authorization to trespass people instead of the homeowners or the property owners.
Are we supposed to hear him? We're supposed to hear him, right? Are we supposed to hear him?
So, other than that,
Yes.
I have noticed a bigger sheriff's presence in the, from the deputies in the area.
yeah, and I'm in an unmarked car too, so I'm in here a lot actually. The other day, I was right by, I can't even pronounce her last name, Katie's dad's Mike's house.
Yeah.
Some lady had crashed into a house, but then there was a guy with a warrant there that got bit by one of our canines, so we're in the area. You may not see us all the time, but we're here. And I know Crime Watch has been in here, George has been here a bunch. I think right now, mid-month, the cops, the Denellen cops, we're in Rainbow Lakes Estate 17.8% of their time that they're out. So we've made it to where we're documenting when we're in here, how long we're in here, and which areas. Mike Archdeacon, who's in charge of the cops, he made some grid maps for everybody, and they control certain areas. So other than that, I agree, there needs to be a light down there at that intersection. It's crazy down there. Had that deadly crash by the bar, I think it was this month.
Yeah.
And you're right, people don't know what they're doing when they drive. It's crazy. So, other than that, unless there's any questions.
As always, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Lieutenant, when I was in code enforcement and also being roads, I found most of the people that camp on people's properties are basically the ones closer to Levy where you can't drive on the roads. They're all chewed up because they know you're not going to go looking back there.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we're behind a vehicle that might be running from us, the minute they start driving erratic, we have to cancel because we don't want to put anybody else in danger. And you gotta let them go, but they don't stop driving crazy.
Well, unfortunately, something else that I hear a lot of too is kids speeding up and down the roads at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. In fact, there's some people here tonight that really gave me an earful.
Speaking of code enforcement, I know we had that, thing on Pinto, the guy parking the vehicles on the roadway. We've taken care of that, and I think now it's a county issue as far as code enforcement. The guy was parking the disabled vehicles.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, thank you. Okay, chat.
Mr. Chairman, real quick, I have some folks over here that can't hear what's going on in that. I just wanted to let you know.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, we are in the process of, I believe it's going out for bids, the system here.
The PA?
It was supposed to be out for bid.
I'll double check. Let me check.
Yeah, this system's terrible.
We can hear you up there, but we can't hear you.
Trust me, if you walked in that back room and saw it, it looks like a 1980s stereo system. Okay, moving on. Chad Wicker, yeah.
You're going to try to turn that up a little bit, there might be a little bit of kickback.
yeah, it starts to feedback. It starts to feedback after this.
Either way, it's the air conditioning, you can't hear anything on that side of the room.
All right, moving on. Chad Wicker, you have anything to?
I do not have anything for this part of the agenda.
Katie Burton, got anything for us? No? And Dana Olsky, well, you're here when we come up to the crime watch. I have a feeling there's other questions too.
I'll leave it, leave any comments till then.
Okay. We might want to start dragging you here every month.
We're gonna talk about crime watch.
Okay, we have no consent items, so moving on to old business. 6A, Rainbow Lakes Boulevard Median Island entrance walls. Has that gone out for bid? Have they been accepted? We don't know yet.
I do not know, but I can definitely find out and get back to the board.
All right. Thank you. Oh, here comes my favorite subject. 6B, Crime Watch. Any update on plans for creating an independent RLE Public Safety Service organization and Citizens Patrol? I now defer to our Public Safety Representative, Alan McKay, and Dana Olsky, Chief Assistant County Attorney.
As of this time, there is no proposal in place because our proposal was shot down due to the illegality of it. I would like to, you just hold on, sir, hold on. You can't hear?
Perfect.
Oh, I'll make sure of that. Okay, the situation with Crime Watch. Rainbow Lakes Estates is comprised of 87% Marion County and about 13% Levy County. Per state law, Marion County is responsible to provide fire service and police protection for Rainbow Lakes Estates, not Marion County, Rainbow Lakes Estates, which includes Levy County. The sheriff, in his inimitable wisdom, has decided not to allow Crime Watch to patrol in Levy County. Levy County, in effect, gets nothing. They get no police protection, barely no police protection from Levy County itself. They push them off. And fire protection, limited at best. So the sheriff is neglecting his duty, his obligation to the law to provide law protection to Levy County. Marion County is also derelict in their duty in not providing fire protection for Levy County. This is in the law. This is not something I made up or dreamed up out of I can show you the law right here. I got it right here in the paper. It is Marion County's responsibility, and the sheriff cannot deny it, and neither can anybody else. And it has not been rescinded, so it is a fact. Can you please tell me, does the sheriff have any intentions of doing anything about it?
George, what section is that? Okay, I think I found it. Right. To provide the following, oh, I turned this off. To provide the following municipal services within said district: road maintenance and lighting, maintenance and operation of all public lands and all public civic and recreational facilities, law enforcement, fire protection, and then it goes on to say a few other things.
What page are you on?
Page 5.
That work?
Thanks for that announcement.
Did you make sure they could hear it?
Is it page 5 or which document? I don't think I have that document.
Page 5.
That's the,
Was that passed out prior to the meeting?
This is Chapter 2011-293, Committee Substitute for House Bill 479, enacted in 2001. An act related to the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District, an independent special district of the state of Florida in Marion and Levy counties, codifying the district's charter, blah, blah, blah. And go through all the legal mumbo jumbo and descriptions and exact boundaries and so forth.
I think we'll let the attorney speak.
Thank you.
May I ask a question, please? So,
I'm sorry, sir, could you, there'll be a public speaking portion.
At the end we'll talk.
Thank you, good evening. Daniel Lesky, Chief Assistant County Attorney for Marion County.
hear you. No mic.
That mic is better, yes.
Yeah, this one at least works.
Thank you, sir.
Have her hold it.
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, Daniel Lesky, Chief Assistant County Attorney. So what Mr. McKay is referring to is the special act that created the Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. It is very similar to the other MSTUs and MSBUs that the county has, but it is slightly different because it was actually created by a special act by the state of Florida. Now, he referenced section 2, which outlines that the Board of County Commissioners constitutes the district board. So, the Board of County Commissioners is the Rainbow Lakes Estates MSD. The statute authorizes and empowers Marion County to provide several services, including law enforcement and fire protection, as noted by Mr. McKay. It authorizes and empowers, it does not actually obligate the county to do those things. However, the county does. It just says you have permission to provide these services within the area that has been created under the district. It further goes on to say on page 6, under subsection H, that the county can join with any other district, city, town, or political subdivision or agency to provide those services. So for the portion of Rainbow Lakes Estates that is in Marion County, we have the sheriff's office who provides law enforcement. On the Levy County side, the Levy County Sheriff's Office is authorized and empowered to provide law enforcement services. Likewise, the same thing with the fire district. With that, I think from the last meeting, I had advised everyone that I would speak with Marion County Sheriff's Office. I was able to do that. I spoke with Lieutenant Bloom regarding the issues that led up to the sheriff withdrawing the ability of the Crime Watch to be able to go into Levy County. Unfortunately, the sheriff is standing firm on not allowing Crime Watch to go into Levy County. Lieutenant earlier talked about the Denellen cops. The numbers, I forget, it was almost 400 hours that Denellen spent in total in the month of February, of which 43 of those hours were specifically in Rainbow Lakes Estates on the Marion County side. So they are coming into that area, and Lieutenant Bloom encouraged anyone volunteer with Denellen cops to do so. And that way you can actually not only provide services within Rainbow Lakes Estates, but you could also do patrols outside of this area. So at this time, there does not appear to be an interest in the sheriff in allowing any of the equipment that he would have provided into Levy County, unfortunately. I understand the concerns, and I think with the lieutenant and different, as you have issues happen in this area, you always have law enforcement. I assure you that if something happens, Levy County is going to respond. Marion County is going to respond in their respective districts if needed. So, with that, if anyone has any other additional questions specifically for me.
Okay, Ms. Oleski, it is nice that Lieutenant Bloom would talk with you. Unfortunately, the sheriff will not. And quite frankly, he is up for election this year. That was not a smart move on his part. I know a considerable number of people who don't think it's fair, don't think it's right for him to just arbitrarily decide because he doesn't want that to happen. And an agreement has existed since at least 1999, a written agreement between the two counties that authorized that to happen. And then, apparently because they were made aware, he wasn't aware or he was made aware that Crime Watch was patrolling in Levy County. All of a sudden, no, we can't do that anymore. It was because of an accident and a minor fender bender on a car. So, all of a sudden, Levy County is on their own. They're left hanging. And it's not right, it's not fair, it's not just. Folks in the audience, if you're thinking about what to do, complain to the sheriff. If you have a problem with it, complain to the sheriff. And
There will be
Marion
a
County
public
residents are the only ones.
portion
Yeah,
at the end of the meeting.
right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Marion County residents.
I have a question for Dana.
Okay. Marion County residents, most of them are probably pretty upset about this too because this has been going on for, 24 years without any apparent issues. And now all of a sudden, well, we can't do that anymore. Levy County's getting the shaft again. It's not right.
Well, Mr. McKay, let me just tell you, I did not try to reach out to the sheriff personally. I have a good working relationship with the sheriff, and I'm sure that if I call and speak with him, he will speak with me. He speaks with me about animal cruelty issues that I handle for the county. I have a very good working relationship with the sheriff's office. I started with Lieutenant Bloom because he was the one with the most knowledge, and that is the sheriff's prerogative. He's not obligated to provide law enforcement in Levy County as the sheriff of Marion County. And previously, the sheriffs were doing it as a courtesy to the Marion County Board of County Commissioners. But from a legal standpoint, he's not required to provide services. Marion County has the authority to provide services through whichever way they choose to, and they've chosen to have Marion County Sheriff on the Marion side and Levy on the Levy side. I think that the issue about anybody feeling that they're not being provided that service, they're more than welcome to reach out to the sheriff if they have a specific issue. But I think that between Denellen Cox and what the lieutenant has talked about he himself coming into this area and patrolling, that if there's any issues, I think reaching out to the people that are here in the area to address those would be the best course of action. And for those interested in volunteering their time to join the Denellen Citizens on the
The problem is I had, at the last meeting, made a long report on a meeting held prior to that meeting with the volunteers who wanted to work for a Rainbow Lakes Crime Watch. Well, all of them, without a fault, told me that they would not have anything to do with the sheriff. They didn't want anything to do with it. So that's why we were trying to do our own for Rainbow Lakes Estates. Apparently that's not legal. I have to accept that. I don't like it, but I have to accept it. Levy County like I said, Levy County gets the shaft again. It's not right. And I have no power to make the sheriff do anything. I can get some word out that he reneging on a deal that's been going in place for more than 24 years. Because prior to this letter being, I think you've probably seen the letter. You probably saw the letter dated back to 1999, signed by Sheriff Dean. And it had been going on prior to that as well. So it wasn't just that. That just codified and put it into a letter and made it official. As I've stated before, tried to contact the sheriff 5 separate times. He would never return my calls. I got a call from from Lieutenant Bloom. And Lieutenant Bloom told me exactly what you just said. And I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to continue on. I don't know how, but I'm going to continue on because I think it's the right thing to do for Levy County.
Change the law. You gotta change the law.
Well,
George,
yeah. Okay.
there is a public portion
Yeah.
later in the meeting. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll continue on then. But Dana, is it legal for us? It is not legal for us to start our own crime watch, community patrol, whatever you want to call it. It is not. We can't do that because of the law, the way the law is written.
There would be some legal liabilities that the county would be concerned about with having a crime watch separate and apart from the sheriff. If it is something that this board wants to recommend to the Board of County Commissioners, by all means you can, but I think that the legal concerns that our office and county administration has, it would not be something that the Board of County Commissioners would move forward with.
She's having a hard time hearing you.
What was the last line she wants to know?
In other words, we would have to petition the county board. That would be the only alternative.
Even though it was already in effect?
Apparently, it was never codified by the county board.
There is a public comment portion at the end of the meeting. I would appreciate if everybody would wait until that time. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get into that at the end. But I will approach the county board on my own.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Ms. Stolz. Okay, moving on, 6C, broadband. Any input or discussion about broadband?
Katie Burton, MSTU Community Manager. A small update for broadband. The contract has been signed for the grant funding, so now it's just between the state and the service providers to set the dates and do the install. So hopefully we'll get those hard dates on the construction and everything from the service providers soon.
Great.
Thank you.
Anybody? Okay, 6D, clubhouse roof. Just an update on the roof replacement.
Absolutely. I made a visit on February the 12th with the Facilities Management Director of Marion County. We walked through that building. He assessed the building. He said the building is in actually good shape and it's a sound building. And so in effort to protect Marion County's asset, we are going to continue with the re-roofing of that building, which should proceed on April the 1st. I mean, it does need some remodeling on the inside, obviously, but I mean, he was saying that it's definitely worth saving that building.
Okay. Any questions?
I have questions then. If Marion County wants us to continue to move forward with their asset, as you said, and I'm fine with that, it is their asset. Is there some way that we can come to some sort of an agreement? Because those bathrooms are not ADA. They need to be brought to code.
Correct.
The building has asbestos in it that needs to be abated. And these people are paying for all of that. And that is a Marion County asset.
correct.
Is there some sort of cost offset that we can get from the county?
What do you mean an offset?
Some sort of portion of return? I mean, you're asking all of our residents to continue to pay. The problem that we're looking at is that this building has a history. In 4 years, I think it's been open for 2 weeks. And we keep putting money into this building. They keep putting money into the building, but they don't get to use it. So if Marion is now saying, because we said, okay, at what point do we stop? Tear it down, let's do something different, okay? And Marion said, no, we want to protect our assets, so we're gonna go ahead and re-roof it. That means that these residents are on the hook to pay for that re-roofing. That means that these residents are on the hook for the ADA compliance redo of the restrooms. It's like, okay, if Marion is now telling us that we have to do this, can we get some sort of reimbursement from Marion County?
Well, no, Marion County, the building obviously needs to be updated. It's been there for a while, and so funds need to be budgeted, and that's something that we're gonna look at. That building needs to be updated, it needs to be remodeled, but the cost to remodel the inside of it, I can't build that building again for that cost.
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess
but
that's what I need
The
to see
facilities
is,
director said the building, I mean, this is his rough estimate, just eyeballing it, is around $300,000. So renovation, maybe $50,000 inside of it to bring it up to code, the bathrooms up to code, put a drop ceiling in the main area, get rid of the asbestos, all of that, so.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
it needs to be evaluated. I can actually have somebody come out and professionally evaluate it with a report for about $3,000, but.
Yeah,
It definitely needs some tender love and care, as a few of the buildings out there.
Yes.
And so,
A lot of the buildings
yeah,
out
and
here.
so that needs to be,
All buildings.
that definitely needs to be reviewed, and it needs to be put into, the next few years, bringing these buildings up to date.
Okay, I would just like to ask that going forward, that the board be made aware of any bids that are going out for this sort of thing too, because quite honestly, I felt a little blindsided that the roof was getting done, but I had never heard anybody bring that proposal before us. I haven't seen any bids, it was just a little odd. I felt blindsided by that.
I can keep the board in the loop.
So did
What's
I.
that?
I can definitely keep the board in the loop.
Which clubhouse?
This one right
Is
there.
that it?
The sinkhole one?
Yeah.
Dan, is that it?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, that is the end of old business. New business, 6A, and the board requested this to be put on here. So a discussion concerning building a splash pad here in Rainbow Lakes Estates. Knock your socks off, you just asked for it.
Well, from what I understand, we don't have it in the budget as of yet,
Right.
and, it would be a nice thing for the kids. And I don't know how to get everybody to say yes. Do we take a vote?
Well, I think we can, we don't have it in the budget for this kind of a project right now, but I do think that we could put this in a, 2-year plan, and maybe, hopefully, it could go by 2027, that's 2 years, right?
Or the possibility of, is there any grant money available? Recreation grant money available, Katie?
We greedy, got our hands out.
Hey,
Can you describe what the splash is, splash pad is? Can you define it?
Okay, so what do you want to do about this?
splash pad is, large.
George.
Pardon? Oh,
There's a public portion.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
you want to leave this on here, discuss it again next, and see what you guys want to come down up with?
I mean, if we're gonna continue the item, can you, Gary, can you start a proposal on this? What are we looking at? Where is it gonna be located?
When we first talked about it, Pam was here and she said she would put it out for bids to find out exactly how much it would cost. And we're talking about the area down by the pits. We don't need all those horseshoe pits, they never get used. So it'd be a great location, we've got water available, bathrooms available. So I believe that's a good spot for it.
Can you put a proposal together saying, what your ideas are?
Yes, I'll do that.
All right, thank you. So we'll leave this on the agenda for next meeting. All right, 6B, the communicator. The current way the communicator is delivered via Facebook and home delivery by request to residents, reaching all residents, and if not, what could possibly be the possible solution so that all residents are kept informed?
Well, once again, it seems like we're beating a dead horse here. We brought this up before, this communicator. People need to know. Nobody knows what's going on here. Going on Facebook, we reach what, 20% of the people? And if you want it, you gotta ask for it. I don't.
No, you gotta put a sign out in your yard that says.
Excuse me, Michael.
So as we've stated before, I think the board's in agreement that this should be mailed out. I think the people are willing to pay the little extra cost it's gonna take to have it delivered to their homes. That's how I learned about this place right here. When I first moved here 4 years ago, my brother on his kitchen table had a communicator. I read it and I said, wow, this is available to me now? Now people that move here have no clue.
And more people are moving here.
And more people, yes.
So yous are,
What are you doing? Let's make a choice. Let's make a decision.
excuse me. Once more, Michael, I'll have to ask you to leave.
And that's okay. I'm fine with that. Because you are a bunch of idiots.
We want your voice, we want your voice heard, Michael.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't.
So I'm asking, please, how do we get this going? Nobody seems to answer my question.
Dan, what's your opinion on this?
I did do a little bit of research on it. I don't know if currently Rainbow Lakes Estates has a bulk mail account or a cart sort account, but I was looking at the numbers that I saw fly by on the, as we discussed, the Facebook post that was put out there, and the numbers to me just seemed really, really high. So I did some research on that, and I come to find out that, and I'm just throwing a round number out there, of 2,000 people that we would have to mail to. And it ranges anywhere from $400 or $450 for cart sort to actually a little over $1,000 per mailing to individual residences. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I think it needs to be mailed out. There are people that I live, because I live in the Levy County side, obviously, we don't have great connectivity. When people say, oh, well, everything you need is on Facebook, it's all online. Great. Some of us can't get to it. You know, we're not down front where we have Xfinity or Comcast or Cops. We're, like I said, soup cans and strings in the back. So when you put it on Facebook, that doesn't do any of us in the back any good. So I would like to see it returned to a mailing periodical. I don't necessarily think that it has to be monthly.
It comes out 4 times a year.
Yeah, I think that the quarterly is fine. But I also wanted to also add in too that I think that, because I've been noticing that the board members are now having to put in the articles into this, which I really don't have an issue with, but I think that based upon what I saw in the last communicator, there needs to be communication across that process. I, for one, posted information in my article that was repeated by the Recreation Department, and theirs looked a lot better than mine. So I'm just saying, I don't think we should waste our resources without a better line of communication to create this communicator and make it a tool that these people can use, that's informative and lets them know about the community in which they live in. Because there are people out there that have no idea we have 3 lakes. They don't know anything about the community center or the fitness center. Nobody knows that.
I get out quite a bit. Okay, I walk my dog all around Pines. And I love going out on Sunday mornings. 1, because I smell breakfasts. And 2, people are willing to talk to me. And I say, hi, I'm Gary Levitt. I'm on the advisory board. What's advisory board? You don't know? No, we meet every month. Oh, okay. Well, can I find out more information? And then I tell them, go online. And a majority of these people are working class and so forth, and elderly that don't even know how to get online. It's like, oh, how do I do this? So I think it's essential. I really do.
Paula, your thoughts?
I saw the survey on Facebook, and I actually voted, and I saw that I had voted, and I'm wondering how that survey, what the results were.
Who knows? Good question.
Tiffany, do you know the results of the survey?
10-person survey.
No? No, there were more.
Okay.
There were more people than that. Okay. Well,
Our community center supervisor's out, and I believe up until recently, she was the only one that had access to the Facebook account.
She's the admin for the page.
Katie has access now, if I'm correct, because I saw something today.
Yeah.
Katie Britton, community manager, I do have access to the page, I can get those results if you guys are interested.
I'm interested. Also, in the past, I've lived here about almost 5 years now. In the past, there were actually minutes. There was information on who the director, the manager was, how to call the number for the district office. There was a lot more information in the communicator in the past. I don't think it needs to be 6 pages, because it could be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Also, if you asked to have, when you would need to go to the district office and ask to have it mailed to you, I did that. I did it through the mail. But a lot of people are on Facebook, and they would just throw these away. And this is, I believe, 12 pages, but like 6 sheets of paper, you know. So that's a lot of paper to be throwing away. The only other thing is, there are containers. There's one in front of the recreation office. It's like those things that are on houses to show how much, like if it's for sale, how much the house is worth, you know, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. They're in that container thing in front of the recreation office. And I have actually gotten them out of it too. And every time I've gone, there have been some in there. I also talk about the communicator. I don't do it every time, but I do try to keep people informed on what's going on with the communicator. And also, it's on our webpage through the Marion County webpage. You have to go through like 6 steps to get to it. And again, I haven't talked about that lately. I should probably do that next meeting, because you have to click here, click here, click here, and then you finally get to it. But it is there on our portion, the Rainbow Lakes Estates portion of the Marion County website. So it's not like it's not out there. It is out there. You just have to know where to look.
Or have connectivity.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Ms. Olsky, I have a question concerning a communicator. Are we allowed to sell advertisement to local businesses in there? We've always been told or led to believe that if we sold advertisements, it would be as if the board or the community was endorsing those businesses.
Typically, can you hear me? Typically that, for any of our other advertisements that we do through the county, you keep it internal because it can be seen as an advertisement, and you would have to allow any business, even if it's a business that you maybe would not want to advertise in that. You can't discriminate between the types of businesses or any type of advertisement that were political in nature or anything like that. So typically, don't allow the paid advertisements in anything that's coming from the district or the county.
Typically, you don't allow that.
Typically, you don't allow
But
that. I could look into the specifics
if
on
we-
it.
I'm wondering if, at the bottom of the page, just a disclaimer saying we are not, these are paid advertisements and not endorsed by the, if that would
By the
cover-
county
if
or the
that would
board.
cover that.
Yeah.
I think it could be seen as an advertisement because it is the county that's actually sending that out on behalf of the district. But typically, the Board of County Commissioners can't have advertisements and utilize funds that way.
Right, okay.
Because you were
I'm just
essentially,
looking for a way to pay for it.
right. So that becomes an issue, but I mean, I can look at it and give you any update at the next meeting if I find something different.
I'd appreciate that, thank you.
And I believe the last meeting, Katie said that the county that puts together things like this might help with layout and things like that.
Yes, we're working with public relations to update all of the outreach that all of the MSTUs are doing. This will be included in that.
Rico, do you have an opinion on this?
Yes, I do.
I can see your face looking over here, so I'm thinking there's an opinion.
Okay. So I know a number of years ago, I think 3-4 years ago, they did a mailing with the communicator. I believe they sent 3-4 straight issues out where it had a detachable card. If you wanted to have it continue to be mailed to you, you could put your name, address, and that's where they generated their mailing list. I believe after 3 consecutive mailings, the office received less than 20 responses. We just talked about how all these buildings need work, splash pad, all that. I know the number that's thrown out for this is, I believe it's like $8,000. That could be used for this. Everyone gets caught up in the mailing of it, but someone has to put that together. Someone has to print it, fold it, then it has to get taken to the post office. The cost of that could cover half the salary of a part-time employee, because I know staff is extremely limited, and what we're trying to do with expanded events, that could go a long way. I understand a lot of folks have part-time internet connections, but at the same time, we are in 2024. Computers and all that stuff has been around for 30 years. I think maybe try doing another where maybe we do another set of mailings and put out, hey, if you want to keep getting this, respond and return this card. As I said last time, 20 folks, that was it. I believe, let me see, I got the numbers. As of right now, I think there's only 75 or 95 that actually get mailed out that was requested.
I think that is.
And like 275, I believe, that gets emailed out. I think there's a happy median. I see the money can be spent in other things. I mean, I understand the communicator, and folks love it. I've been here for 10 years. I probably have sat in that audience for 5 years where I was the only one in this building other than the folks sitting on this side of the table. So seeing people here is great, but at the same time, you know, I always hear, you know, Marion Oaks this and blah, blah, blah. We're not them. We don't have their money. We don't have 30, 40, 50 people on staff. So we gotta maximize with what we have, and I think spending $8,000 a year to do a mailer to everybody, which 95% of them will just be pitched. Personally, I think it's a waste. But I think we can find some kind of a happy medium with it.
All right, thank you. George?
I don't think informing the public is ever a waste. I don't believe that. The problem we've had, and this has happened to each board member, have people come up to them and tell them, I didn't know about this, the dinner we had here. A lot of people didn't know about it until like maybe that day. People need to plan their lives sometimes, and if they don't know about things, they can't do them. We have a lot of things to offer in Rainbow Lakes Estates, a great number of things, and with God's help and some good luck, we're going to do more. But we need to inform our residents. If they don't know about things, they won't do them. If they don't know we need volunteers, they won't volunteer. If we need to inform them, if we don't inform the residents, what the hell are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? We need to let folks know this is available. If we can't walk around with a banner, come to the dinner. You know, that's not going to work. Mailing is an efficient way of doing things. There are much cheaper ways of doing it than what was stated in that survey. That survey was specious at best. The survey gave numbers that I don't believe are correct, and if they are correct, then something was definitely wrong. There are a lot cheaper ways of doing things. Companies will put this stuff together for you and mail it for you. All you send them the information, they will do it for a fixed fee.
Yeah.
And why not do that? That probably is the cheapest way for us to get it done. We don't have to have color, we don't have to have a lot of pretty pictures. If it's just gives the information we need to get to folks in a timely fashion, that's all we have to have. We don't need anything fancy, we don't need puzzles, we don't need crosswords, we don't need that stuff. Just inform people, a simple calendar with maybe some detail about the dinner coming up. The dinner coming up next Friday, by the way. We're going to have pulled pork dinner.
On a Christian holiday.
Yeah.
On a Christian holiday, yes. A pulled pork dinner next Friday. Probably, how many folks out in the audience right here even knew that was happening? Okay, we have some. A lot of folks didn't. That's no excuse for that. We don't do a good job of informing people. Matter of fact, very poor job of informing people. And everyone should get a mailer. Every resident should have the information. There is no excuse to not do it. It's unfortunate that the county demands that everything be electronic. They want everything online. Well, as most of us are aware, some areas in Rainbow Lakes Estates have no internet connection whatsoever. Some of them don't even have a phone connection. And now AT&T has decided they're not even going to support landlines anymore. So what are we going to do? We don't have an awful lot of alternative. Mail is such as it is. Service is getting much worse now, but that is the only service we have where we can provide everyone all the same information in an accurate and concise fashion. We don't have to have bells and whistles.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the communicator that went out and said there was a little piece of paper that you would fill out. Well, people are lazy. Unless you send them a self-addressed stamped envelope, nobody's gonna reply.
Kathy, do you have an opinion on this?
Yes, matter of fact, I do. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, I'll try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have new residents, we have a lot of new residents. And I've taken to rating the office for extra communicators, and when I see a new resident, out in their yard, my brother threatens them that, next you'll see him, or see me. Because I go and I tell them who I am and where I'm from, and this is the communicator, and I try to explain to them, if you want one, call. And I remind them that my telephone number is in there. If they have any questions or